Hey, so I thought I'd do this as a live one because I don't want to waste time on a thumbnail for something this. Maybe I'll do a thumbnail eventually. But, oh man, okay, so I went to the flea market for the first time. I don't remember the last time I went. I know it was definitely before the pandemic. The pandemic, during that, the flea market burned down and I didn't want to be anywhere near anybody else, other human beings. I was surprised it was even open, but I got a cat begging for my attention. It's like as soon as the camera starts, the cat's like, my gosh, I got to get attention. All right, so I went down for the first time in a long time this morning. It's North Myrtle Beach Flea Market. I was very disappointed. I was very depressed. I remember back when I was a kid, I used to go down there, not all the time, but quite often, and I was always excited to get to go through the comic book bins. Back in the 90s, I remember I used to go through and I got they fight by the ones that had the holograms, the action figures that have holograms, luminaries or something like that. Those were really cool action figures. I got those for like $1 each there. It's still in the package, and some silver hogs and some other stuff back when I was, this is back in the 90s. People were just throwing that stuff away basically. That was really, sadly, not as much there today, and I was really disappointed to find nobody had like a massive amount of comic books. Like, oh, you want to see the KB toy thing I have? Everybody's excited about that, but I've had that for a while. But yeah, since over 20 years, wow. But the comic books, there was a guy that had some. So let's just see what we got today. So I got a paper bag here that somebody got. All right, first off, I got this one, and it was actually free because the guy says, hey, you getting this for your granddaughter? I'm going, I'm not really that old. He's like, oh, I'll usually just have it then. It was like $2 is what it was originally. I had this one before. I love red hair. I love the Mackie face. It's got some imperfections I can clean up. I was willing to pay $2, but free is cheaper. She's also got earrings that you can't really take out. They're kind of permanently put in, and a floral dress that's really nice, and no shoes, which, no surprise. I'm surprised that dress is in such good condition. I'm going to hopefully clean her up, wash her up, and the hair used to be pulled back into a ponytail on top of the head, as you can tell, and it still looks really good for what it is. So, yeah, I'm glad to get this one back. I love redheads. And then, okay, so the guy that had the comic books, he had a thing full of comics that were about this many comics. Like, I bought like probably a good chunk of his comics. Not like anything more than like 20 comic books he had, and they were in the zip up thing that you would buy, like, you know, if you bought sheets for your bed and they came in a plastic thing. It came in something like that. So this is what I got. So let me zoom up a little bit. Usually I do these long, but I didn't just get comic books today. I only got 4 comic books. So if you're like here just for comic books, you're going to be sadly disappointed. I'm sorry. I only got 4 comic books, unfortunately, and that's all they had. And I was disappointed. I went all happy and excited and smiling and talking to people. And I left kind of feeling kind of like drained, you know? Like all the joy had left me. But as long as I can make other people's lives happy. Now, these comics are in rough condition. He told me up front they're in rough condition. This was not in the plastic bag. He had like 3 comic books not in the plastic bag. He's like, that's more over here. They're pretty rough condition. Really? Because this is rough. What do you call rough? This is, I guess he just, I don't know. But chilly. It's the Millie's Red-Headed Rival, which is ironic because I also got this. But I got, actually I'm going backwards in the order of things I got. This is the last thing I got because I just put them on the paper bag that the first person gave me. Red-Headed Rival Chili. All right, I've never seen it. It's 15 cents, so I'm guessing it's around 1970s, early 70s. 70s was a huge, it's almost like the 70s is what we're experiencing for the last 3 years. Massive inflation. It went from 12-cent comics to, I think, 15 cents in the 70s, and then it went all the way up to 35 cents by the end of the 70s. It was like, gee Louise. And that's what's going to happen if we live through the 2020s. It's just massive inflation. But anyway, so it looks a lot like Archie comics, and I don't even know if it's the same artist. But I was like, this looks very interesting. Oh, by the way, all 4 of these comic books all together are $6. I was like, I didn't ask him like which one was the more expensive or whatever. He just was like, kind of eyeballed it, and it's in really rough. I mean, it's like, probably I got ripped off, but who cares? I mean, it's like $1.50 a book. I'm okay. I'll be okay. I was just feeling sad because I couldn't find any other books. The other three are actually all Spire comics, so that's what inspired me to pay that much money for them. Because these are hard for me to find at all. I mean, I never find Spire comics, except on eBay, and $6 for all four of these. I'd pay more for shipping and handling if I bought just one of these off of eBay. So we got In the Presence of Mine Enemies, a true story of a U.S. pilot and his wife. I wonder, no, okay, so it's definitely not the one I'm thinking of. There's a story of a person I'm thinking of, but that's like people who live in the jungle. So that's going to be good. 7 years a POW at Hanoi. Definitely not the same one I'm thinking of. And we have The Hiding Place, Corey Ten Boom. We all know that story, but now we got it in comic book form. Betsy, how can we go on turning the other cheek? We must, Corey. We must show them love is stronger than hate. And you know, that's not just empty, flattering words. These were people who were sentenced to death for doing nothing. I mean, that's the way I feel like our government's getting. And don't say, oh, the government can never turn against us like that. Don't ever say that. Don't ever, if your government starts doing the things that ours is doing, you know what, we cannot trust it. Do you really want to end up like Nazi Germany? Think about it. I hope I don't get censored for that. And then Through Gates of Splendor. There's nothing that leads you on the front like Corey Ten Boom or anybody like that. I wonder if this is the one I'm thinking of that I've actually heard the story about. They witnessed to a tribe that killed them, and then later on the women came down and finished the job that they started. Seems like that may be the same story. Very Archie looking art. There are women involved here, so you don't want to send your wife on a mission field. Let me see if it's a dangerous mission field. It may be the story I'm thinking of. It's not a story that I've ever read from this. It's just a story that's famous throughout Christianity. Here's a little checklist too. So it's my ultimate goal to get and read all of the Spire comic books because they are so inspiring. All right, now let's see what else we got. The rest of this is only about from 3 different people, and it's all the same thing basically, sort of. All right, let me zoom down on that. We got Taxi, disc 1, 2, 3 from first season complete. We got Taxi complete 3rd season. Taxi 4th season, and I checked them, so it seems they're complete. It's funny how they went from, like, back in the day we had this, and even before that we had these weird fold-out things that folded out forever, to these more slim-lined plastic ones that are like the same size as a regular 1 DVD. The final season, which I'm hoping it's 5th season, it just says final season. It doesn't say 5th season though. So if there's 5 seasons of Taxi, I have all 5 seasons now. And then season 1. No, this is 2nd season. Hold on. 1st season, 2nd season, 3rd season. So those are all like the traditional cardboard box ones. Then they went to the more slimline plastic ones for 4th season and final season, which I don't know if this is the 5th season. I'll have to look it up. But that's all she had. That's like, she didn't have like season 6 or anything, or season 5. I didn't see anything else. Well, 1982 gives you a hint. Let me go to this one, see if it says 1982, in the fall for the last one. Yep, 1982 for the last few episodes. So yeah, okay, so the 5th and final season. I wish they'd just say 5th and final. Makes it easier for us that don't really know. I barely remember watching any of this. I remember the guy that was strange, and him, and I vaguely remember him. I know him better in another show. And wasn't he the same guy that like later on played on Star Trek? And then isn't that the same guy that plays Back to the Future? Well, I need to get better at this live thing. Maybe if I announced ahead of time, I'd planned this, but I just got home and I wanted to eat something comforting because I had the greasiest burgers in the world at McDonald's. I've never had. And I need to clean my fingers again. All right. Hey, so thanks for those who joined in on live. Comment below if you joined in later, and have a great day. Let me know if you got anything today from if you went to your flea market or Goodwill or whatever. All right, have a great day. How do I turn this off?